Example number 3. You can use what you know about dividing fractions to find and use a pattern. Look at the division and multiplication sentences. Find and use a pattern to solve 4 divided by 2/3. So what we're talking about here, and kind of to block this out, they're telling us to look at this and find a pattern, right? And mathematical sentences is this statement: 8 divided by 4 over 1 equals 2. So we're doing really change this to 8 over 1 divided by 4 over 1. And they're saying that that turns into 8 over 1 times 1 over 4. And they say that answers 2. How do they get the answer 2? 8 times 1 is 8, and 1 times 4 is 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. So do you notice a pattern? What happened? What happened to this first term, the 8 over 1? Did it change? What happened to the division sign? It turned into multiplication. And then what happened to this other fraction? 4 over 1 turned into 1 over 4. Let's see if that pattern holds true, or if there is a pattern to be found there. So now let's look at another one. So I'm going to get a different color here just so we can maybe see the difference. So now we're looking at the second one. We got 6 divided by 2 over 1 equals 3. Or that's the same as 6 times 1/2 equals 3. So again, we have 6 divided by 2 over 1. That equals 3. And they said that that turned into 6 over 1, or in other words, 6 times 1/2. That equals 3. So the 6 divided by 1 stayed the same. The division turned into multiply. The second fraction, 2 over 1, turned into 1 over 2. So 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 does equal 3. Are we seeing a pattern? We'll check for one more. 5 over 1, which is the same as 5, divided by 1 over 2 equals 10. So that's the same as 5 over 1 times 2 over 1, and that equals 10. So again, the first number stayed the same. The division turned to multiply. The second fraction has changed. That second fraction changing, that's called a reciprocal. So it's flipping the fraction. A reciprocal, 1/2, its reciprocal is 2 over 1. If you multiply these two together, you always get 1. So it doesn't matter what fraction you take. I could take 2/3. If I multiply it by reciprocal 3 over 2, I end up getting 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 2 is 6. 6 over 6 is 1. Here, if I multiplied 1 times 2, I get 2, and 2 times 1, I get 2. 2 over 2 equals 1. That's when we know you have a reciprocal. So can we use this to finish the problem they asked? 4 divided by 2/3. So we're really doing 4 divided by 1 divided by 2 over 3. That turns into 4 divided by 1 times 3 over 2. So 4 divided by 1 times 3 over 2. Multiply those together and you get 12 over 2, and 12 over 2 is 6. So hopefully you see the rule. We keep the first number the same, we change the second one, and we flip or find the reciprocal of the other fraction.